This is the most important video you will watch this week regarding the markets, and I'm telling you, please take the time. Yes, we do have, the profits running from the trades and whatnot. We are going to talk about this, but we have to run through what's happening because I do believe that this can potentially be the biggest meltdown we've seen in a very long time, and there are a lot of things that point just to that. So very important, in the community, I left a voice note on Friday, and I said that a lot of times what happens is that Trump comes on and he de-escalates on Friday and then completely ruins it throughout the weekend when the markets are closed. And I said it would be basically what I tweeted as well. This is what I detailed in that voice note, and I said market is pricing in another taco. Trump always chickens out after his announcement on the fact that he's going to, obliterate Iran if they don't open the Hormuz within 48 hours. Now that already passed. And then I said that the market is pricing in another Trump always chickens out, meaning it will not have any consequences if they're not going to open, which obviously they won't. And I said the US won't bomb critical infrastructure because if you bomb that, that's basically a war crime, so it's not going to happen. I don't think so. But Israel has no problem to do so. Iran won't give in. The bombing of Iran and energy infrastructure is not priced in. This is what I basically said. Then Iran came out, and obviously the weekend was very busy. If you've been in the community, you know this. It's free, actually. You can join the link in the description. But I said there as well that Iran came out and they named the targets they are going to target in case anyone strikes their infrastructure. We're talking about millions of people that will be left without gas, left without electricity. So they came out and named the exact spots. Now, one thing is noticeable here, that there's no Israel. Why? Because they're attacking the neighboring countries, so the neighboring countries can force the US and Israel to stop doing what they're doing. That's the plan, at least. So, and I came out and I said that basically there is no reason for Israel not to strike in the community. And guess what happened? This is exactly what happened. So Israel started carrying out major attacks on Iranian infrastructure. There's complete blackouts. So if you look here, there's complete blackouts in Tehran, and now analysts and former prime minister, for example, here comes out and says the war can last for a couple of years. So going from a weekend to 4 weeks to maybe 3 months to a couple of years is not a good look. Especially that now the Department of State advises Americans worldwide to exercise caution. Why would I need to exercise caution worldwide if I'm an American if this thing is only in the Middle East or it's only in Iran? Well, apparently it's not. And so all this is not looking good for the markets. It's peak uncertainty. I've been here since 2016, seen a lot of things, but this uncertainty is next level when it comes to all kinds of markets. Asian markets are basically free falling. Nikkei and Kospi as well, down 6-4%. You can see the US stock market wiping around out $1 trillion. You see everything is being sold by insiders. So you can look through all the major stocks. Everybody, every major holder, investor, whatever, is exiting the markets because of the peak uncertainty. And the S&P 500, which I'm going to talk about a bit later, is lining up to have a 30-50% drop, which again, I'm going to talk about a little bit later. I have taken a short position. I'm going to tell you all about that. Guys, if you don't know who I am, my name is 𝗏𝗏. I'm going to jump into the charts now. But basically what I do here is 5 to 10 minutes every day. Usually it's a little bit more, happier, but it's genuinely concerning what is happening, and I just want to run through it. I think it's my responsibility to update you and also share with you all the trades that we've taken throughout the weekend, and we're taking 5 to 10 minutes every single day. You can join in. 22% of you are not subscribed, so do that. And then there is a free community which is completely free to join in, so I do recommend you do that. Now, I posted this and I run through on the channel, and I told you the only job you have is to follow market structure. A lot of people jump in here and they try to catch the bottom and they try to reverse trade and all that stuff. All you need to do is chill and follow market structure. And nothing shows this better than my post here. I posted this in the community. Again, link on top of the description. I posted this and I said, called Bitcoin shows tomorrow is still expecting it to come back to 71,500. But because of my voice note, as I explained, I do believe that there has to be an escalation. And if that happens, TA basically goes out a little bit goes out the window. And so what happened is that there was a clear indication. A lot of times the charts tell you before something happens, there was a clear accumulation, manipulation, distribution right into a higher time frame order order block here, accumulation, manipulation, immediate reversal, and I have told you that I have taken a short position. Now that short position basically allowed me to pass my Bitfunded account. That's very important. This is a prop firm. I told you I'm running for $150,000 account. If I pass the challenge, I am going to be able to trade with this $150,000. I'm gonna buy a Rolex with it. I'm gonna give away a Rolex. It's gonna be exciting. But a lot of doubts, and especially now with this whole TGR video coming out and whatnot, I want you to see that this is the ID of the challenge that I passed. It is now in to be active stage, meaning I'm waiting for this to be activated by Bitfunded. And you can see it here. I made 16,000 on a 150,000 account. And this account, this is the exact account, 127 ending. This is the exact account that I have had a video about here on the channel back in February. So you see, this is the challenge that I opened. You see there is 150,000 available margin. I literally just opened the account on the video. It's titled, "This will be my biggest trade in February." So you can go and look back. This is the account I passed. And the best thing is that I passed it all with you guys. So I shared everything in the community, and if you come back in the channel here and you're paying attention, you have most likely passed the challenge as well, which I could see in the community. Like, a lot of you have actually posted that they're taking profits, which is awesome. So anyway, there will be a good Easter deal on Bitfunded. You can check them out now as well, but I will bring you a decent deal coming as well. Now let's jump into charts. Couple of things that I have to run through. One of them is Bitcoin, right? So I'm gonna delete this. I still have the major short running, so we shorted it up here when this whole market structure shift happened. And the same thing, by the way, accumulation, manipulation, distribution, and a lot of people called me an idiot for actually taking this short position and try to catch the bottom. Well, didn't end well, but ultimately I do have this position still open. So I have the Bitcoin position. I didn't change anything on it, so I didn't take profits. Nothing it's up here at $3,700 profits. I am not going to take anything for now. I do believe that we're going sub to 60,000, so I'm not touching that at all. But the reason why I said follow market structure is because the only job you have is to simply scalp short any bounce that comes. And you could see it here. You could see it here when it happened. I scalped this one. Like, you just, what I'm doing is simply follow every single bounce that comes back onto a market structure. So even now, if you look at this here is an hourly high. You can look at 3 consecutive candles here. This here is an hourly order block. So if I look at the 15-minute chart, once I get the account back, or once I get the account active, the first thing I'm gonna do is to short this here, scalp short, and put the stop loss on top of the 1 hour chart. And the reason why I say that is because all you need to do is follow the hourly market structure shift. If there is going to be a change in the structure, meaning there's going to be a higher high, then you get stopped, and then you just wait for a higher time frame retrace all the way up here to 1,500, and then you short again. So do not try to catch the bottom and whatever. But I do think that this week can line up to be potentially the worst week that we've seen for a long time. I actually posted this here. I said that we are setting up for a very, very ugly week, and I'm concerned that that is going to happen. So ultimately, I would definitely not long. I would definitely not get into anything. Wait for this to play out. I do believe we are going sub 60,000, and if for any reason Iran starts retaliating to the extent that they say they will, I mean, Bitcoin can get to 60,000 in literally an hour. So I would be very, very cautious in doing anything else other than shorting here the 1 hour market structure shift. Again, the 1 hour structure, make sure that you follow the structure. Currently, this is a great trade as well, 69,100 stop loss, and then all the way down there as that. So that's all I'm doing. I'm gonna post all the scalps in the community as they come, as I posted it in here. There will be stops, but it is absolutely fine. The market is completely wicked, all driven by announcement. But until there is escalation, if there is escalation, as the market will nuke, it's not a question. And if there is no escalation, when the market can go a little bit higher, but then you're just gonna short again when we go higher, and this is what we do here every day. So I'm gonna keep you posted there. Oil. So I had the WTI oil long from down here again. Why 15-minute? Again, I don't want to repeat this, but if you come back, then this 15-minute market structure shift, 50% retrace. I have this long open since then, basically. So if you look here, I do have this XTI is the ticker, and 2Bit. 2Bit is our partner. I have this long open. I've taken $700 profit, and I still have 1,100. I'm waiting for that 50% retrace. So I am waiting for that to happen. Now, I don't know if it will or when or how, but I'm not touching that. If it comes back sub 90, it's still the level that I'm looking for. So I want to long it at around $88 if that happens. What I also did yesterday, and I posted in the community, is that I've taken a Brent long position. Now, there are two oil indexes that are very relevant. There's WTI, which is the West Texas. It's basically the US index, and the whole Hormuz situation does not impact the US that much. That's why the index is not as high. So if you look at it, yes, there was a balance here, but if you look at Brent oil being at 110 and then WTI being at 98, there was a massive discrepancy, and the reason is because Brent represents more the Asian and the European markets. So if there was any de-escalation, Brent will fall first. If there is escalation, Brent will skyrocket first. I do think that this down here in the 4-hour low is absolutely strong. I don't see any reason for this to be broken, so I have taken this long position. I'd rather plan on it as a scalp, 125,000-ish, 125-ish. I will keep you posted how that goes, but both the WTI and the Brent trade is open. XBR is the ticker on 2bit for Brent, and XTI is the ticker for the WTI. So that I gave you all this in the community, but I wanted to let you know that is what's happening. And then the interesting or the scary part is this. So I made this post here and I said that the S&P 500 just printed a weekly market structure shift textbook reversal pattern. Last 4 times this happened, the index dropped 30-50%. The S&P is going to sub 60,000 or potentially sub 5,000. Now again, if you have been following the channel, you know that I've been calling for a correction on the stock market for a long time now. I said that I need to see a correction, and if that happens, I do believe that April, May, or Q2, Q3 will be the bottom for crypto, and that is still what I stand by with. If you look at this looks scary, because there is 3 consecutive, actually 4, but 3 consecutive weekly candle. There is a close above the previous high, and there is an immediate reversal pattern. This is a V shape. Not a V shape, but what is it? A reverse V shape, right? So that basically means that this is a very, very strong reversal pattern. That means that the market is going to come back towards the 50%, as it has always done. That means that the S&P has to go down below $6,000, possibly all the way down here to 5,000, all the way potentially to 4,800, as you could have seen this many times, many times. Now here, there was no 3 consecutive candle. That's why I'm not taking this under consideration. So even though this was also a reverse V shape and the market fell, the first time it happened, the V shape or the market structure shift was down here. There was only a 5% drop. But if you look back, there was no 3 consecutive candles here, but also if you look at even 2 consecutive on the weekly, I mean, this is also sell-off. But if you look here, last time here that happened, 3 consecutive candles, fall off, and it was a very impulsive sell, just like it is now, very impulsive sell, and then still the market fell 24%. Back here in 2008, you see when the shift happened, it's very similar, by the way, what we see now, very similar. When the shift happened, the market fell 50%. Before that, back in 2001, market fell 41%. I would not be surprised if this thing starts falling aggressively down to sub 60, potentially down to sub 5,000. I have taken a short position on the S&P. Again, I did it also on 2bit. You can see the SPX 500 USDT. Now, what I wanted to tell you about 2bit is that they are our partners here. Non-KYC available worldwide. You can trade crypto, you can trade commodities, you can trade oil as commodities, gold, you can trade stocks, and we do have an incredible bonus offer for you. I'm gonna post a video in the community. I'm actually gonna show it to you now, but the reason is because if you deposit up to, if you deposit $20,000, you get $2,000 bonus. That's literally, you can just use that to trade. Just deposit your money, try to exchange with the bonus. You can take out the profits. I'm going to show you in a second. If you deposit 50,000, you get 5,000. If you deposit 100, you get 10,000. I met them. They're great people, great platform. Go and check that out, and also take advantage of this. It would be a no-brainer to do so. Let me show you the video. So I actually just recorded my phone as I go. If you look here on the top, there it says use bonus, and then you can look here. It says use bonus. So if you sign up with our link, you deposit, you will have this. And when you get there, you see this little bonus tab, and it will say here 2,000, 5,000, whatever you deposited. And simply when that's done, you just take a short or long position on different assets that you pick. And then I did that now, and as I took the short position, you are going to see it. This is literally not even my money. It's like I just deposited and I got this bonus. I have the position in here. You see the margin is 791. I took the fee, but I didn't use any of my own money, right? And then a few moments later, it's interesting, you can see on the top here, it's at 4:40 when I share the scalp position. And if you look here, I joined in at 1 a.m. Yeah, I can't sleep. At 1 a.m. and I joined in, and if you scroll down, this is the exact same position, 791 margin, and I'm up $400, literally 50% on money that is not even mine. I just simply took advantage of the bonus deal that they have recommended for us. I took profits and it landed on my account. So it's very important that I do believe that you should take advantage, especially market conditions like this, on stuff like this. There's a link in the description. Join in there. Come back every day. I know it was a little bit longer update than expected, but it was important. Please pay attention, join in the community, and do not start catching falling knives. This is an AMD video that I talked about that happened, that explains much more on what happened, and I'll see you in the next one, guys. Buckle up.